Hey, this is Cindy and I am going to teach you a chair class. This is going to be a combination of yoga and Pilates exercises with the chair. So I won't only sit in the chair for you, but we will do some standing and make our way at the very end down to the floor, but using the chair to get down there. So if getting down to the floor isn't going to work, you could, during that part, go lie down on your sofa or on your bed and do the exercises there if that felt like a safer alternative for you. So we're going to start sitting right at the very edge of the seat. Toes are forward, and you want your ankles right under your knees and your knees right in line with your hips. Place your hands on your thighs and just sit nice and tall. Close your eyes and see how you're doing. So just do a scan of your body. Start at the crown of your head and let your attention and focus travel down. And if you identify any spaces that right now today are sore or tired or feeling weak, then just set a little intention to be very mindful and careful with that space and not to push too hard in stretching or in strengthening, but just give yourself a little pass in that space to be gentle. Now that you have checked in with body, let's check in with breathing. So breathe slowly in and out through your nose. Thinking about belly breathing. So the inhale, the belly expands out in front, and the exhale, the belly contracts back in toward your spine. This helps us to be sure that the breath begins and ends in the belly and is complete. And it may feel, and that's a good thing, that the exhale is a little longer than the inhale. They don't have to match up. We want to make sure we empty out, so maybe a longer exhalation. Just take 3 more breaths here, in and out through your nose. And then flutter your eyes open. We're going to start from the top and make our way all the way down to warm up and loosen. So let the right ear just fall toward the right shoulder. And then take your left hand and place it on your left shoulder and just gently pull the shoulder away. If this is plenty, stay. If you want a little more, take your right hand over to the left side of the head and gently pull apart in both directions. And you want to keep your back tall and your heart lifted. And there's always the feeling that your abs are slightly contracted. Slow breathing in and out through your nose. And then release your right hand, and then bring your head up and release your left hand. Then let the left ear come down toward the left shoulder, only the head tilts. And then take the right hand onto the right shoulder and gently pull it down. You can stay here if you're feeling a lot of sensation, or the left hand can reach for the right side of your head and just feel that your 2 hands are pulling in opposite directions. There's this rise and fall of the body with your breath. Just connect to it, let it relax you. Let go of the head and bring your head up. And then release your right hand down. On your next inhale, take your left hand over to the right knee if you can. If this is too deep, you can keep it on the left knee. Bring the right hand to the chair, so seat or arm or all the way to the back. Inhale to grow a little taller and exhale, find rotation. So we don't want to overly twist the spine. We just want to keep it loose. So when you feel sensation like the muscles are being stretched, the spine has a spiraled helix feeling, then you found your place. And then just grow a little taller in the crown. Feel the breath coming in and out of your belly. And then slowly return back to neutral in the center. Then take the right hand, holding on the left knee. If that's too much, just put it on the right knee. And then left hand, somewhere on the chair, anywhere that works for you. Inhale, grow, and exhale, turn. So we're just working on turning and rotating. We never go to a point of pain. This practice helps us learn to feel good in our bodies. And then exhale, slowly back to the center. Take your hands and lace your fingers. Push the palms of your hands forward. Inhale, lift the arms above your head, keeping the shoulders low. Maybe bring your heart and gaze up, but be mindful of your neck. And then on an exhale, you're going to bring the hands directly forward, round your back. Think that you are splaying your shoulder blades apart, and then you can gaze toward your navel. Start to bring your torso up, and when you do, bring your hands together, lacing fingers. Squeeze your palms into each other, and then release your pointer fingers. We call this Jupiter Mudra, like you're pointing up to the stars. Lift the arms above your head and try to bring them behind your ears as much as possible. Breathe in, and when you breathe out, dip to the right without the left hip coming off the chair. So often, like we come out of that hip, feel your strength rooting your hip. You can let the right ear fall toward the shoulder, the arm. Look in either direction, so you can look under your left arm, forward or down. Always listen to the neck. And then inhale up to your center, grow and breathe it in. And as you breathe it out, dip to the left without lifting the right hip. You want to feel some expansion in the right lung. We're creating space to breathe when we laterally bend. And then bring it back to the center. Release your hands bound and then bring your hands down. So this is our mountain pose in the chair. Spread out the fingers and press the fingertips toward the earth. Now let's wrap our hands behind on the chair, just wherever. It can even be the seat if you need to. And make sure you're right at the edge so you have some space to pull the heart forward and think of squeezing between the shoulder blades, just opening up your chest. So it feels like if you let go of the chair, you would just fall forward over your legs, but you're not going to let go of the chair. And then just breathe. Slow down your breath. Let it calm you. And then bring it back and let's find mountain. Now sweep your arms above your head. breathe in, see if you can bring your palms together. Make sure you contract the belly on your way down. And then we're just gonna let the hands come to the thighs and float down on top of the thighs with your torso. Let your head fall. You can keep your hands here on the thighs, or you can slide your hands down your legs, toward the feet, to the floor, wherever they fall. You just find what feels right for you. And then try to relax the back of your neck. Let your shoulders hang heavy. As you're breathing, you can think of a spine breath, that the breath begins at the tailbone and goes all the way to the skull and back down. Scooping your belly, roll it up, one vertebrae at a time back into the mountain pose. And let's take a cleansing breath here. Take a deep breath in through your nose, then a long, slow breath out through your mouth. We are going to lift the right leg up into a figure four, like a pigeon pose. So you want to contract your abdominals and lift the leg, crossing it over. You can assist with your hands. So, use your hands to lift the leg if you need to come to here. And then make sure your left ankle is under the knee and flex this right foot. And let's take a little ankle strengthener and loosener. So what's great about the circle in the foot is it both loosens and strengthens the muscles around the ankle, the tendons. It's really good for strength and flexibility. So just one direction, rolling it around. Feel tall in your back and your knee is just gently releasing toward the floor. Now circle back the opposite direction. Just let the breath flow. Do two more this way. Hold the flexion and then lengthen your spine even more on an inhale. As you exhale, start to lean. It may be just an inch that you lean forward. It might be a foot. If you have space, you could fold over again, rounding in the back, relaxing your shoulders. Your hands can just rest on top of the leg. You can let them fall. You could hold on to the seat of the chair or the legs of the chair. Keep a little contraction in your lower abdominals. Slowly roll yourself up to a tall seat. Heel and toe your left foot more to the center line. So think of your foot aligning with your navel. And then cross your right leg over. These are called eagle legs. So you can assist with your hands. And you want to give a little squeeze into the inner thighs. And we're going to lengthen, just hands on the legs, lift your heart. And then maybe take a small diagonal lean forward with the flat back, maybe a large diagonal lean, or if you have space, round your body over your legs and just hands wherever they fall. Feeling as even as you can in the hips and sits bones. That small contraction in the abdominals. It is protection and insurance for your back. So it's important to connect mentally to the lower abdominal muscles. Now with belly strength, roll it up one vertebrae at a time, back to tall back. So heel toe your left foot back in line with hip. Lift the right leg and extend the right heel straight out in front of you. So the toes are flexed, and let's just sit tall and point and flex the foot. So it's like you would like for your toes to touch the floor. That's how hard you're going to point, and then pull them back like the toes would like to touch your knee. So just press and pull, and press and pull. Inhale, exhale. For 4, feeling big range of motion. 2 and 1. Now keep your foot flexed. Lift the arms above you. Breathe that in. Scoop your belly to your spine and forward fold. So you can leave hands on thighs. You could melt deeper, hands to the shins, to the ankles. They could drop to the floor. You could hold on to the chair for stability. You want to feel safe, but you want to feel sensation. Don't be afraid to let sensation come into the body. Scoop your belly and roll it up. 1 vertebrae at a time, and just place the right foot down. And let's find mountain. Take a cleansing breath here. We're going to lift the left leg up into our figure 4 pigeon. Remember, assist with your hands if you need to cross this over. And then your hands can rest on the top of the leg, the knee, the ankle, and begin to circle the foot. Nice big range. Feel loose and feel strong. Still just breathing in and out through your nose. And then take it in the opposite direction. Keep your back lifted. You'll feel your back muscles really strengthen as you work on sitting tall, and it will become more natural to sit up tall everywhere you sit. 1 more circle here, and then find flexion in the foot. Lengthen, and you may be able to lean slightly or a lot, or eventually fold over. Your hands can rest over your leg, hang down, hold the chair. So one thing we want to think of is efficiency, letting go where we don't need to hold on, but engaging where we do need to be engaged. And once we find the right posture for us, then it's about breath. Slowly roll it up. And then we're going to heel toe the right foot to the center to line the leg more with the navel. And then you can use hands to assist. Cross your leg all the way over into your eagle. Inhale, lengthen, lift the heart. Feel the length maintaining as you lean forward slightly, a lot, or eventually melting into a fold. Just letting your hands come where they fall. There is no certain destination or goal you're trying to reach. You just want to feel that the body is opening, that tight places are starting to release that resistance. Scooping your belly, roll it slowly out. Heel toe the right foot back in line with the hip. Take the left heel forward, sitting nice and tall, and just point and flex. So it's like you want to touch the floor with your toes, then the knee with the toes. So strengthening the ankles, loosening the ankles. Two more. And then holding the flexion, sweep your arms up, breathe in. And as you breathe out, belly to your spine and fold it over. Bringing hands wherever it's natural. Long exhalation through your nose. And then slowly rolling up with your core strength. Bring the left foot to meet the right. Find mountain and take a cleansing breath. now just bring your hands onto your hips. And we're going to do a little strengthener and stretch for feet, ankles, calves. So thinking of widely spread toes, pick your toes up off the floor, keep the balls of the feet down, and then start with your baby toe in with your big and just spread the toes as widely as they'll go. Now we're going to do a calf raise. So lift the heels and squeeze the calves and slowly lower the heels back down. So we squeeze and then we resist. You get strength both directions in a calf raise. So coming up is what we call a shortened contraction of the calf. Coming down is a lengthened contraction. Both are contractions though. So squeeze tight, resist, and try to come up as high as you can onto your tiptoes. Take 3 more. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. And bring it down. Now walk your heels forward until the heels align with the knees more than the balls of your feet. Lift the toes and spread them out again. And now we're going to lift the whole foot except the heel off the floor. So this is going to help us strengthen more into the fronts of the shins. So flex your feet just to the center of the heel and lower them down. Spread the toes on the way down. Inhale up and exhale down. Trying to be right in the middle of the heel, not rolling out to the side, keeping that alignment. So our foot, ankle, knee alignment is so important, and the more we establish it when we're exercising, the more it will start to resonate with us when we're out in the world doing our natural things. 3 more. And bring it down. Good. So bring the feet back underneath you and bring your hands into mountain. We're going to do a few poses seated on the chair, and we're going to bring those up to standing in just a little while. So first, let's step the right foot out to the side. So those toes point to the side. And then step the left leg out, and the left toes are trying to turn in to face the same way the right toes are. You're right on the edge of your seat, right knee bent, left leg straight. If you get a little cramp right here in your hip, that's very common. Just bring the leg more forward and it will probably come out, I hope. So this is a good hip loosener. We're going to open the arms out horizontally. Check your arms, look that both of them are shoulder height. And then if it's okay with your neck, look over your right middle fingernail and squeeze between your shoulder blades. So we're feeling very lifted and tall. This is warrior 2 pose, but also pushing down into your feet, like as if you'd like to come up out of the chair. Slow breathing. Now turn your right palm up, place the left hand on the thigh, and reach back. This is peaceful warrior. Always listen to the neck. The neck gets to be the boss here. So if you're looking under your arm and the neck says, ouch, look down toward the floor or even just forward, more neutral. Now slowly come back out through warrior 2. Take the right forearm onto the thigh. Lengthen your back. Take your head back. And then left fingers toward the ceiling. Really lengthen this arm. Energize your fingers. That left foot back there is very active. We're trying to push the baby toe side, we call it the blade, of the foot down. And when you do that, you will feel the outer ankle get a stretch and the inner ankle and the arch of your foot get a little lift. Then slowly bring it back. So in between our sides, we're going to do a symmetrical pose, goddess. Turn your toes out, turn your heels in, and then we're going to bring our arms up to 90-degree angles. We call them cactus arms. Spread the fingers, push your knees back. And then if you can, do a calf raise. So lift the heels up, press down through the balls of your feet right in the center, and keep the knees pressing back. This is a great hip opener, inner thigh loosener. And when we have our arms up, we are strengthening the upper body, even though we aren't even holding any weights. Slow down your breath. On your next exhale, lower your heels and let your arms float down. And let's turn to the other side. So turn the left toes out. That knee's going to stay bent. Slide the right leg long, lower your heel and try to turn those toes as if they want to face the same direction as the left. Adjust this leg if your hip gets a cramp, and then open out the arms. They're shoulder height. If your neck is okay, look over your left middle fingernail. Squeeze between your shoulder blades. Push down into your feet. Feel that great stretch in the right ankle. Don't miss that part. There's a lot going on, and you don't have to pick it all up at once, but the more you repeat and you practice, the more little subtle things you're going to start to notice in the body. Flip the left palm up, place the right hand on your thigh, and just start to reach back. Peaceful warrior. Remember to bring the gaze in the place that your neck would like for you to. Lengthening your left side. And then it feels like we keep that length when we come out. So as we come up to warrior two, we feel a little longer in the left side. And then take the forearm onto thigh, right fingers to the ceiling, and really reach the arm. Open your heart. Breathe slowly with eyes focused. If our eyes look around, the body will not want to be still. The body wants to go where the eyes lead. Slowly bring it up, and we'll take one more goddess. So turning toes out, heels in, nice open hips. Arms into cactus, squeeze between your shoulder blades, and if you can, lift the heels. Feel your calves really contract to squeeze there. Holding your gaze, but another thing that's nice is closing your eyes. One more inhale. And when you exhale, let your heels and arms float softly down. Then toe and heel your feet back to hips distance in the center and find a mountain pose. Take a cleansing breath. So we're going to do a little bit of abdominal work before we stand. Bring your hands behind your head. So you're going to lace your fingers and have your thumbs down so that your hands come behind your head and your thumbs just rest right there for support of the neck. Breathe in and think of your head pushing into your hands, your elbows opening more, and your heart lifting. And then as you breathe out, a contraction of the belly is the first thing. You're going to round into a C curve, tuck your chin, and contract even deeper at the bottom. Come up to tall back, find a gentle back bend, contract the belly, and scoop, hollow yourself out. Two more like that. You feel the tips of those sits bones right underneath you, and when you contract, you roll off of your sits bones. It's up to you to contract the abdominals. You could do this movement without, but you wouldn't want to. It's a waste of time, and it's not good training for the body to want to move this way without your abs. Bring it up to the center. Now we're going to twist to the right, and then you're going to feel like that contraction initiates and that your left elbow would like to come down and touch your right leg. It may or may not, that's okay. And come up to the center. Twist to the left, contract first to round your back, and then right elbow comes toward the leg. It doesn't have to make physical connection. Inhale, exhale, twist and contract. Inhale, center. You can exhale through your mouth, twist and contract. We're doing 4 more. This is Pilates breathing when you exhale through the mouth. Last two, feel strong. Bring it to the center. We're going to keep our hands here. And then we're going to take the right elbow laterally down toward the right hip. It's the waist that's squeezing and low belly is contracted. Inhale, feel tall. And then take the left elbow down toward the left hip. You're just moving sideways, not forward. Breathe in. And exhale, breathe out. Grow, inhaling. And bend, exhaling. We're doing 4 more. Try to connect your thinking to your waist. The great advantage is that you're also stretching that opposite side. 1 more on each side. And bring it to the center. Lower your hands. Take another cleansing breath. We're going to find our way to standing. If you need to push off the chair with your hands, then do. But if you can stand up without your hands, then do it, because we don't want to lose it. You got to use it or lose it. So if you can, don't use your hands, and we'll just sweep the arms up. Just sweep them up over your head, and then bring them to heart center. I'm going to move my mat around. So for now, what you're going to do is walk to the back of your mat and take your chair and move it forward. If you're not on a mat and you're just on your carpet, then just walk around behind your chair and make sure you have room behind you. And then just feel nice and steady on your feet. When we stand with our chair, we know that the chair is always there for us to put our hands on. So we feel a little more secure and safe, and maybe feel like taking just a tiny bit more of a risk because you know that you've got a safety net. So just keep that in mind. I might take my hands off the chair. You never have to. So on an inhale, if you can, reach your arms up. And then as you exhale, belly contracts first. Your hands come to the chair, and then you just melt forward. Relax your neck. We're going to come to flat back. So feel the strength of your back. Your crown goes forward. Your navel lifts up. And then step the right foot back, followed by the left. You don't have to go too far, but this is our plank pose. So we want to feel like we're in a long straight line from the heels to the head. This is an option. You do not have to take it, but you can take 1 push-up here. So you can just bend your elbows and straighten them, and then sink into a downward facing dog. So we start to shift into the heels. You can back up if you need to, or come more forward if needed. Feel that your spine is long, your arms are long, and your head is heavy. Now just breathe. Just breathe in and out through your nose. From here, rise onto your tiptoes. Bend your knees and look forward, and step the right foot and left foot up. If you need more than 2 steps, take as many as you need, and roll it up into mountain pose. Inhale, sweep the arms up, bring the palms together above your head. Exhale, belly to the spine, protect your back as you forward fold. Inhale, find your strong long back, neutral neck. As you exhale, step the left foot back, followed by the right. So farther back is going to be harder, closer up a little easier. Here's your plank pose. Now, that push-up is optional, but if you want elbows into your sides, take 1 push-up, and then sink into down dog so you can adjust the feet if you need to. Your legs are about hips distance apart. Seeing how long your back and sides can feel. Rise up to your tiptoes, look forward, bend your knees. Step the left and right foot up. You can take more than 2 steps if needed. And then stand in your tall mountain pose. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come to a flat back, and then step the right foot back. Find a lunge here. So the left knee is bent and the right leg is lengthened. So just like plank, a shorter stance is going to be easier and more stable, and a larger stance is going to be more of a challenge. It's important to have a place for the eyes, and down low is always going to be the safest, easiest place to look, but pick a very specific place. So you might just hold the chair lightly. You might bring your right hand up to your heart. If you feel steady, bring your left, and just know if you start to lose your balance, just put your hands back on the chair, you're fine. Now slow down your breath. Bring your hands down, and then we're just going to step the right foot up to meet the left at the top. So this can be little tiny hops up or one big step up into mountain. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen to flat back. Step your left foot back. We're staying on the ball of this back foot. Find how wide you want this stance to be to feel safe, but try not to let the front knee go beyond the ankle, but just keep it right above it. Pick a place for your eyes, maybe one hand or both to your heart. And then bring the hands down. You can do several little hops or one big step up and find mountain. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, forward fold. So now we're going to take the postures that we did seated into standing. Come to a flat back. Step your right foot back. Spin the heel flat. So let's get our feet right. They're on the same line. Like if there was a straight line drawn all the way down your mat or the space where you're standing, both feet would be on that line. The left toes are forward and the right toes are turning in, trying to point where they do. Front knee bent, back leg straight. You've got this chair in your left hand, so you can take your right arm out to the side and look over your left shoulder. So if you felt safe, you could pick up your left hand, knowing the chair is there if you need it. This is warrior two. Keeping weight pretty even in both legs. We're going to peaceful warrior. So you can put your hand back on the chair. Bring your right hand to your thigh and just lean back and maybe look up. And then if you feel steady, you could reach the left arm over your ear. And then bring your left hand back to the chair. Now, if you have space, bring the forearm down, either at the high part of your chair or a little lower. You could put your hand down into the seat of the chair. And then take your right fingers up, lengthen your arms. This opens up the heart. Try to keep your front knee bent. Back leg engages so your front leg doesn't get so tired of doing most of the work. And then both hands are going to come to the top of the chair. Be mindful. Spin to the ball of your back foot, and you can take tiny little hops. You've got pressure in the seat if you need it, or in the chair. And then step up in to mountain. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, belly to spine and forward fold. Inhale to your flat back. Step the left foot back. And then spin your left heel flat. So your feet are on what we call a tightrope, all aligned with each other. Right toes forward, left toes in. Take the left arm out, shoulder height. If you can, look over the right shoulder, pick a place for the eyes. If you feel steady, pick up the hand, knowing all you have to do is put your hand back down if you need to. Feel strong in your upper back. Feel weight equally distributed through both feet and legs. Bring the hand back down. Place your left hand on your leg and just reach back a little. Maybe look toward the ceiling. If you feel steady, you could reach the right arm up and back into Peaceful Warrior. And then bring your hand to the chair, leaning slightly, or you can bring your forearm on top of the chair or your hand down to the seat a little bit deeper. Lift your left fingers to the ceiling and lengthen the arm. Open up the front. Slow down your breath. And then let your hands both come up to the top of the chair. Spin on the ball of the left foot. You can do several little hops until you're standing in a mountain. We're going to do our goddess here facing the chair. So open your feet about as wide as your mat or a little bit wider than the width of a chair if you're not on a mat. And then bend both knees. So you're just standing tall with both knees bent. So you can hold the chair or you can let go and find those cactus arms. Another option would be you could hold the chair and just lift right heel up. And then put it down and just lift left heel up. And put it down, and then if you felt really balanced and strong, you could play with picking both heels up. So whichever version, you can do heels down, arms up, or hands down, heels up. If you felt really steady, you could do both. 3 more breaths. Now hands down, heels down, stretch your legs long. Start toe and heel in your feet back in line with your hips. And let's turn the chair around so that it faces you. So be mindful, of course, don't know how heavy your chair is, so just make sure that you are careful. And if you're not on a mat, you could just walk around and face the chair the other way. And we'll find mountain again. Mountain is, our foundational posture. It isn't just a standing still for a second pose. It's important. So we want to really root down the 4 corners of our feet. Lift up our arches. It's important to keep our arches strong and lifted. And make sure your weight is pretty evenly balanced between the feet, front and back and right and left. And as you inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, contract your belly and bring your hands to the chair. So you can stay right here very close to the chair. That will be the easiest. You can back up a little. It might be a little harder. Now, if you're feeling like super strong, you can back up a lot more plank style. I mean, this would be, really hard. So just find your right place. We're going to do some push-ups. Press into fingertips so you're not putting any pressure in the heels of your hands or wrists. Elbows are pointing back toward your hips and your nose is going toward the back of the chair. And then just lift it back up again. So bend and squeeze. Push-ups are so important because they help us get up and down off of the floor, out of the bed, off of a chair or couch. So we need to make sure we keep the muscles of a push-up strong because we're going to use these a lot in our lives. 4 more. Exhale through your mouth and contract your belly. 1 more. And bring it back. So walk your feet closer if you did back up. And let's just take a forward fold. Your hands can stay here and you can bend the elbows and let your head fall. If you had more room, you could bring your forearms into the seat of the chair and let your head fall between your upper arms. You could bring your hands down, walk them down the legs of the chair. You find sensation. You're not holding back, but you're also not pushing yourself to a place that isn't right for you. Feeling nice and open in the back of your body. 3 more breaths. Hollow out your belly. Mindfully come back to the hands if you went lower. So this is where we're going to make our way to the floor. You have those strong arms that just did all those push-ups. They can hold you up, but you want to make sure your abdominal muscles are strong to also make you feel lighter. If this does not feel safe, go over and you're going to come and lie down on a couch or your bed. Find a place where you are safe, or a chase, whatever you got going at your house. So abs are strong, weight is in hands. Very softly start coming down to one knee and then the other. And then have a seat so you can bring your hands, one hand to the floor, one can stay in the chair, sitting on your hip. And we are going to roll onto the back. If you have a chair here and you're on the floor, lift your legs in the seat. If you are on your sofa or bed, just lie back, and if there's a pillow there, lift it underneath your calves for a little bit of elevation. Make sure you're using core strength in transition. Very mindfully, find your way on your back and lift your legs up in the chair. So you're letting the blood flow down in the opposite direction. This is our inversion. It is very important that every day we try to get upside down. So that can just simply mean lying on your back with a pillow underneath your calves and feet to elevate you. This is great for circulation. It's also great for your memory and your mood. So there are lots of good reasons why we should do this. So I'm going to invite you to take a bridge before we finally rest. You could do a very gentle one by just lifting your hips enough to slide your hands right under your pelvis, your sacrum here. And this is a bridge. Your hips are a little lifted. If you felt like you could do more, you can bring the arms by your sides and press down into the calves and the shoulders and go up a little higher. Try to be sure you are not on the neck. It's the shoulders, the legs, and the arms. Three more breaths wherever you are. And on your exhale, one vertebrae at a time, roll it down. And then just rest your legs wherever you are, on your floor, your couch, your bed. Let the knees fall open, let the palms float up, and close your eyes. Allow a little space between your lips and teeth. Let your tongue fall to the floor of your mouth so that the jaw really relaxes and releases. Now we don't need a deep breath anymore. So just watching as the breath gets softer and more natural, starts feeling effortless. Scan the body from the crown of your head slowly down to the tips of your toes. If you identify any place that needs to relax, just pause a moment there and ask it to. For the next few moments, just be. Try not to make any plans. Try not to remember anything. See if you can be in the experience of lying down and relaxing. deepen your breath. And you can find little movements in the fingers and toes, in your ankles and wrists. And gently let your head fall from side to side. And then just bringing the knees toward you, roll over to either side. Pause for a moment in a fetal position. And slowly find your way up to a comfortable seated position for you. We'll bring the hands together at the heart. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.